Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, October 13th. When you don't leave the house, it's hard to keep up with the dates. But today is Wednesday, October 13th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday, I guess. Alrighty, so yesterday was Tuesday because yesterday was an election day. So our next opportunity to vote is on November 9th, 2021. So go out to the state election board, look it up, and see if you have an election. Order your absentee ballot. But if nothing else, review your ballot so that you know what's coming up, so that you are educated and you're making the vote that meets your needs most readily. So next opportunity to vote is Tuesday, November the 9th. All righty. So couple things I need to talk about. National news. So both the House and the Senate in the last week have passed a measure to raise our debt ceiling, but it's only raised until December. And, you know, I remember as a kid never hearing about the debt ceiling. And as of late, the last 10 years or so, we keep having the fight every year, every other year. During the last president's term, it came up 3 different times that we had to raise the debt ceiling. So I just kind of want to talk about that, because when we talk about it in those kinds of terms, it's easy to get lost. So what the debt ceiling is, and let me just tell you that the important word in that whole sentence is debt, is raising our credit rating so we can pay our bills, we can pay off our debt. So what we are trying to pay for are the programs, the tax cuts, and all those kinds of things that our last president ran up. That's what we're trying to pay for. And I think it's important that we talk about that and that we address it and we call it what it is. These are paying off our debts from the last president. Okay. And so it's rich. It's absolutely rich that the Republicans who signed off on creating that debt do not want to sign off on paying for that debt. It's shameful, frankly, and it has long-term repercussions. And how it affects your daily pocketbook, that's the other piece, right? It's easy to kind of blow it off because it comes up every year or so, and that kind of thing. But how it affects you directly is that it affects your 401k and it affects your personal investments. And so do we want the United States credit rating to go down? We don't. We absolutely don't. Now, good news is that it has passed the Senate and the House. And so our debt ceiling has been raised and we're poised for another discussion. And so we're going to have to hear about it through the rest of the year, but we're poised for another discussion in December. But how does it affect Oklahoma? I need everybody who's paying attention, whether you're watching me now or you're watching me later. All of our representation in DC, all 5 of our congresspeople and both of our senators voted for the last president's reckless tax cut. They all voted for it. None of them voted to pay for it. None of them voted to raise the debt ceiling. And so all 5 of our congresspeople and both of our senators were okay with the United States defaulting on their debt. It's irresponsible. It's not looking out for us. It's playing politics over being responsible, looking out for their election more than they're looking out for their constituents. And that's the bottom line. I just needed to make sure that I came on and talked about it. They're not looking at the responsibility for our debt and their responsibility to us as a nation, which is what they were elected for. I think they've forgotten. They're so focused on trying to keep their office, trying to keep their folks happy who are going to be hurt by the bad decision, that they're not paying attention to taking care of America and consequently Oklahoma. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's been all over the news and we've been talking about it. And Mitch McConnell keeps talking about how he's not going to help the Democrats. Mitch, Democrats are Americans. You're not doing this for the Democrats. You're doing this for America. You're doing this for America's credit rating. Well, I guess you're not doing it because you don't care about our credit rating, but that's the big deal. So what our 5 congresspeople and at least one of our senators, because we only have one coming up, have all said to us is, we don't want to do the job that you've hired us for. So I think we need to hear them, that they don't want the job. They don't want to do the job. Right? They want the job for the perks or whatever. They don't want to do the job. And so what we need to do, I love that, Marianne. They tested negative for integrity. I love that. But what we need to do is vote them out. They don't want the job. They don't want to do the job. We need to hire people who want to do the job. We have 391 days until the midterm elections. We have 391 days to either be a candidate, find a candidate, support a candidate. We have 391 days. We have someone who's already announced for U.S. Senate. So far, we have Jason Bollinger, who is a practicing attorney in Oklahoma City, who was announced for U.S. Senate. We have Abby Broyles, who was announced for Congress out of Congressional District 5, which is Oklahoma County, Seminole County, Pottawatomie County for now. We have Adam Martin and John Swoboda, who've announced for Congress in Congressional District 1. That's Tulsa, Wagner County, Rogers County. We have Mary Brannon and Aaron Dossie, who have announced for Congressional District 4, and that's the area with all of our military bases. We need to hire folks, i.e. elect. We need to hire folks who want to do the job, who will remember that though they are in DC for most of the time, they're representing Oklahoma, and they need to do what's right for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, I've been here most of my life, and I like to think of us as responsible people. Responsible people don't vote to not pay their bills because they want to hang out with the popular kids who don't have to come back and look us in our face. 391 days to be a candidate, help me find a candidate, support a candidate to replace these yahoos who aren't interested in doing the job that they've been hired for. I'm not going to talk about anything else because I want you guys to focus on being a candidate, helping me find a candidate, or supporting a candidate for Congress or U.S. Senate. We'll statewide later, but I want to talk about Congress or U.S. Senate. 391 days. Be a candidate, help me find a candidate, and support a candidate. All righty, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15.